Hello.
Hi. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm, good. It's the morning. It's very early morning. We're doing this because we promised each other, but more importantly, because we said if we didn't do it this morning and knock out a bunch of episodes, we were going to have to run 2 miles and do 200 squats, and I think both of us said no thanks.
Yeah, so instead we woke our happy asses up early and are podcasting at the ass crack of dawn on a Saturday.
Listen, I've already been up for 2 hours. So.
Oh my god, same.
My baby woke me up. Actually, she woke me up at 4 this morning. I was like, kid.
Some people's fucking kids, though.
Teething is rough.
Oh my god, I literally can't imagine. So, apologies. Let's go ahead and just address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
We didn't put out an episode last week.
Yeah, sorry.
Life got the better of us.
It did. Well,
work's been wild.
Really, though.
Yeah, for both of us. And, the coronavirus is still around, so,
Yeah, I've actually been, kind of a bubble of anxiety the last week.
Same.
So, yeah, I went to therapy yesterday and talked it out a little bit.
That's good.
But it's still, it's scary. It's scary, because, it's one thing to just have to worry about you and your family, but, I have to worry about the baby, and that's scary. Yeah. It scares me.
That's a whole ass little life that can't really do anything about itself.
Right. And she has no idea what's going on.
Fuck no.
So.
I mean, I don't have hardly an idea what's going on.
Same.
I think I mentioned this, I guess now 2 weeks ago, upon when this is going to be released. I had started with a new psychiatrist.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I might have told you this in a separate conversation, and if not, then surprise.
Yeah.
I was actually just diagnosed with ADD.
Oh, I think you did mention that to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So wild. That was going to be my fun and fresh thing for the week. But
yeah. Well, that's good though that you can get it, sorted now. Hopefully you can feel better.
Yeah, because not knowing that you've had something for 25 years that's literally impacts your day to day.
Right.
And it's one of those things where I never really thought too much about it until shout out to Jackson. He used to joke that I had ADD because I have a hard time sitting and watching movies.
Oh yeah.
In our other podcast, that's problematic.
Right.
Because we will talk about a movie usually every other week.
And
shout out to Why Do You Like This?
We too.
Well, luckily most of them are pretty short for us. They're documentaries or things that are usually about an hour, hour and a half tops.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had a hard time sitting through these movies sometimes, and I'm just fuck, why can't I pay attention? He's like, you have fucking ADD, and then I was like, shut the fuck up, and then I was maybe I do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because then I started looking into it, and I was like, oh my god, this is me, and then I talked to my psychiatrist about it, and she's like, yeah, bitch, you hella have ADD.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But that's good though. Thank you, Jackson.
Yeah, I know. I sent him a sappy text the other day, and I was like, I don't normally do this, but
but thank you.
We sussed out a problem I had. Thanks.
Genius.
But yeah, so my anxiety medication has just been bumped up because usually ADD and ADHD medication is stimulant based, and that can make anxiety worse.
Right.
So she's like, I want to get you at a higher dose of your anxiety medication first, and then introduce something for the ADD, so that you're already so you're not getting yourself more fucked up.
Balanced it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's wild.
Yeah, shout out to my psychiatrist. She's the tits. Thanks, Gerald.
Cool. That's awesome though. I'm happy for you.
So thank you. So yeah, I just started upping my dose of my anxiety medication yesterday. I'm feeling like a new bitch.
Yeah.
I've lost 10 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, since I stopped drinking.
Good job.
Yeah,
you feeling fine? Feeling
fine? I feel like a new fucking person, dude.
That's awesome.
Once I got over my detox hump, bitch.
But as she holds a coffee mug that says "Not today, muggle fucker."
Fucking A.
I love it.
And I've been drinking more water. I got a new beaker to commemorate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Me too.
Not Spawn. Even though I do love a good beaker bottle.
She does. If you don't know what those are, they are glass with a silicone outside, and they make really cute stuff. And
yeah, the one I'm rocking right now is their newest color. It's called James. It's like a muted like sage green, and it's like their spiky version.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I now have 5 beakers. I have a problem.
I like
but it's okay because Zach drinks out of them too. So
I need to have a straw for my drink. So,
you know what I did to kind of solve that? Silicone straws. Because they bend up into, like when you put the cap on, they bend back up into the bottle. Next time I see you, I bring you one.
Thank you.
Because I have a fuck ton.
Actually almost just bought a couple the other day because I'm trying to, like, go more sustainable. So,
yeah.
like, I'm going to order, like, those mesh produce bags that instead of using
I have some of those.
bags.
They're awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm kind of excited because I've been doing some research on that.
Well, if you need any help, let me know because I am a self-proclaimed hippie, so
yeah,
I'm all about it.
Okay.
I'll get you set up. I'll send you a thing
recs.
for. Have you heard of Grove Collaborative? Again, not sponsored. Jesus Christ. But anyways, I've been a member of them since like they started.
Yeah.
You can like choose what you want every month, and like you can skip months. Like it's like all household and like kitchen and whatever. Like I have a bunch of like reusable like Ziplocs.
Oh yeah.
Like silicone, I have multiple sizes. They have like cleaning products. They have skincare. They have other household things. They have all sorts of shit.
That's
and it's
cool.
all like more sustainable and
healthier.
And they're plastic neutral, so like as much plastic as like they send out or produce, they're offsetting that with recyclable materials and like non-landfill materials. So
I like to hear that.
Yeah, and they're working to be 100% plastic free, I think by 2025, if I'm not mistaken. So, but plastic neutral is like already like fucking awesome.
Yeah, it really, for sure.
Anyways, enough about my soapbox on the planet.
We can talk about it later too.
Yes. There's some, murders to talk about, and or disappearances. Murder. And racial injustice and all of that we need to talk about. So that's what we're getting at right now. What up? And I go first this week?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, this is found on Reddit, of course.
Of course.
I finally ended up making a Reddit account because I can save things and like comment on things and shit.
So my friend Chelsea, she texted me because she listened to our last episode and she was like, "What you're trying to talk about? Like, remember how I couldn't figure out the name for like the Reddit, like it's a subreddit? Yeah, it's like a thread." She texted me. She's like, "I think you mean a thread," and I was like, "I think you're right."
That's hella funny. Yeah, so I'm trying to familiarize myself with the Reddit since I use it so much.
The
so
Reddit.
That's all that to say that.
Yes.
So this was posted a little under 2 weeks ago by Seaspur, Seaspur. This is the unsolved. They call it the unsolved solved death of Darius Brown.
Okay, let's hear
it. So, Darius Brown was a 23-year-old African-American male who lived in the small town of Williston, South Carolina. Which is interesting. I'm actually going to North Carolina next month for a wedding. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
That's exciting. I know you had a lot of wedding plans this year, and
they all pretty much got canceled.
Yeah.
Except for this one, because North Carolina is like doing actually fairly well coronavirus. Fair. So, as far as things are concerned, and it's like a very, very small wedding. Otherwise, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
And I'm also in it and doing the bride's hair and makeup. So
there you go.
Shout out to Mackenzie. Hey, bitch. Can't wait for your wedding.
Yay!
I know she listens to this. So.
Yay! Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that. But so this is like not super duper far from where I'm going.
Okay.
I mean, it's a whole ass state away, but like
it's a whole ass state.
Close. But it's funny, for the longest time I used to like always say that she was from South Carolina, and she's like, "I'm from North Carolina, you're fucking dumb." Like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
California is a really big state, and it's not very close to other states, so except Nevada, I guess we're close to Nevada. That's about it.
We're on the whole ass other coast from the Carolinas, so
yeah. So if you
it's one of those things. I'm not good at I was about to say geometry.
We're not good at English either.
No, we're not good at geography, geometry, math, or English. How did we graduate high school and college?
I don't know. I graduated college 3 times.
Multiple times.
Damn.
Yeah, and apparently I did it with ADD the whole time. How the fuck?
Yes. Queen.
Well, it's funny. So this is what I was telling my therapist. I'm derailing myself, but whatever. Fine. If this is you, I would highly suggest getting checked out because, like, when I was a kid, like, I had a hard time, like, focusing in class and, like, doing homework. I was really good at, like, retaining knowledge and, like, stuff. And, like, once I did get it down, like, I had no problem. Like, I mean, I did very well in school. Humble brag.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But, like, it's typically, like, they say that people with, like, ADD, like, don't do well.
Yeah.
But I didn't do well doing homework or studying. Like, I could write a paper like nobody's business, but I had to procrastinate until the last fucking second and then write all 10 pages the morning it was due.
Yeah. Oh, stress. So much stress. No wonder you have anxiety.
Right. And it's funny because my psychiatrist was even saying that. She was like, I think your ADD actually causes some of your anxiety.
Yeah, I would imagine. Probably because, it feels, like, out of control.
Yeah, but anyway, so if you find that you have a hard time, like, focusing on, like, doing things where you, like, feel like you have to wait to the last minute to do things, like, those are symptoms of ADD that aren't, like, super talked about.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Because I didn't know that. Like, because I was like, oh yeah, I work really well under pressure, and, like, I kind of put myself in under pressure to get things done. And then she was like, yeah, no, like, that's not normal, dude. People don't do that.
Yeah, no. Try to avoid it anyway.
Right. Anyway, back to my story. ADD brain showing. Wow, shock. This is why I get derailed. Oh my god.
Hey, it's okay.
I'm allowed to make fun of myself. It's fine.
It is fine. It's our podcast and do what we want.
Yeah, you guys can make fun of me though. So
yeah. I mean, I can, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I allow it. Okay, so the town of Williston is a rural, sleepy town about 40 miles east of Augusta, Georgia, with a population of just under 3,000 people. This is a place where everyone knows everyone in some capacity. The town's police force usually employs 8 to 10 officers, with some being on a part-time or volunteer basis. Oh no. Oh no. Adaris graduated from Williston Elko High School in 2006, where he played multiple sports. He was very close to his parents, family, and known by many to be lighthearted and always ready to crack a joke. On the evening of February 23rd, 2012, he was hanging out in the Lake Drive area with friends. Later on in the early morning of February 24th, around 2 or 3 in the morning, he decided to walk to the house of another friend, Pamela Priester, who lived a short distance away on Glendale Avenue. At the time, there's also a map. We'll include it in the episode images for the week. Okay. Also, Instagram has been, like, a real bitch.
Yeah, lately. It won't let me post anything half the time.
Yeah, just it's really funky.
Our Hot for Justice page, because I can post on other stuff.
I would say, yeah, I mean, like, your personal page and the Em and Ivor page are fine. It's also, weird. Shout out to your fucking earring business, Em and Ivor. Hi!
Thank you. I've had I've been busy in every way.
I can see that. That's awesome. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm never going to see you, I need to mail you your earrings. And your sticker I got you. Anyways.
Also, if you check out her Em and Ivor page, the black and white pair she just posted, those are mine.
Those are Jamie's. Special
and they're so cute,
order.
and I can't wait. I'm going to order, like, 15 more pairs.
I'm going to need you to be, like, my model.
Oh, yeah, I'll take a bunch of shots once they arrive.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll, any earrings you send, I'll happily model.
Hell yeah.
Where am I? At the time, it was also mentioned that he was possibly trying to make his way to the A&A Club, which is known now as the Lucky Spot. So, sounds like a bar or club of some sort.
Yeah.
So he didn't make it home the next morning and was unable to be reached. According to friends and family, this was very uncharacteristic of him, and he had only hung around a small circle of friends, and he was always able to be reached. Social media pleas for his return were issued by family and friends. News segments aired his photo and details, and his family made public pleas in the local paper. A missing persons alert was issued by the Williston Police Department on February 27th, so a few days later. Pamela Priester was brought in for questioning and subsequently arrested on charges of obstruction of justice. The charges were related to statements she made regarding text and or phone calls made with Darris during the initial critical stages of the search. These charges were later dropped or dismissed as the police noted that they had 0 suspects in his disappearance. On March 5th, 11 days after he was last seen, a body was located and retrieved from a holding pond at the Williston Wastewater Treatment Plant located on Lake Drive. Again, a map will be included.
Yeah.
It was later confirmed that the body was that of Darris Brown. He was still wearing the same clothes on the night he was seen last, and his wallet was still on him. The writer says that they couldn't find an article, but it was claimed that these ponds were initially searched in the immediate days after the disappearance without any results.
Interesting.
Yeah. The chief of police noted that there was no gunshot or stab wounds present on Darris's body, nor are there evidence of any kind of physical altercation or struggle next to the pond. It was determined that Darris had died by drowning. The news rocked the community, especially his family and friends, with good reason. Not only was Darris not a swimmer, but the wastewater treatment plant was surrounded by a tall, locked gate, and temperatures could get cold in February. High 40s were recorded on that evening. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Darris also didn't have any close acquaintances in the immediate area. It was about 2 miles from his intended destination. The mystery begs the question, who would willingly decide to go for a swim on a cold February night in a wastewater treatment plant? Is it plausible, as the official determination suggests? As each year passes, family and friends continue to bring awareness to Darris's case on social media. They see other cases solved on TV or through podcast intervention and wonder if there is still hope. A large majority believe something nefarious occurred and the lack of proper investigation was due to Darris's race and socioeconomic status. After 8 years, there hasn't been a single update or lead to what police believe to have been an incident of accidental drowning. Was he a victim of a covered-up hit-and-run? Was he involved romantically with someone he shouldn't have been? Was he a victim of a racial-motivated crime? And that's it.
Yeah, that's sus.
Yeah, I don't like it. I feel like the hit and run or something to that effect is probably the most likely. Like where something happened and then he was kind of just dumped there. But I don't know, because I definitely don't think it was an accidental drowning.
No.
I don't like it.
In a wastewater, no.
No.
Unless you were some real kinds of, out of your mind, drunk or high.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Absolutely not. Especially, if you're by yourself. I could imagine, if you had, a group of friends that were, egging you on, go for it!
Yeah.
Don't be a pussy! Or, dumb shit like that.
Not by yourself.
No, what are you trying to prove? Or, what are you trying to do? And also, a wastewater treatment plant? Yuck.
Yeah, seriously. That's so
that's
weird.
A hard no for me.
Well,
yeah,
especially... Yeah, I don't like that.
No, so that's why I chose it. I thought it was interesting and kind of makes no sense.
That's kind of the thing with most of these. They don't make sense. I feel like they just kind of, try to find an answer to close it. But it's no.
No. And that's really kind of why we're trying to bring a lot of light to, Black and people of color right now. Because a lot of these things are kind of just blown off and just shit happens. Today's episode is also brought to you by Armstrong. Since its inception in California in 1966, Armstrong has been committed to the improvement, beautification, and preservation of Bay Area homes and commercial and institutional buildings. This has been achieved by employing an elsewhere vanishing work ethic, coupled with superior technical knowledge using only the highest quality materials and modern equipment. Perhaps most significant of all, Armstrong has maintained its position of leadership by adhering tenaciously to one of the most fundamental principles of all business transactions, listening and pleasing their customers. Whether it's painting, roofing, windows, or doors, you have the assurance and peace of mind knowing that your installation will be covered by one of the best warranties in America. Armstrong painting jobs carry a warranty of up to 15 years depending on service materials. Their replacement windows and doors carry up to a limited lifetime manufacturer's warranty. Equally generous warranties come with their roofing work, and Armstrong has been in business in California for over 50 years and will be there, ready, willing to help if and when you need them. If you're in need of painting, roofing, windows, or doors, make sure to check out Armstrong Installation Services at armstrong1234.com. and let them know that Hot for Justice sent you.
There's this article I was reading for my next case, but I thought it was interesting because this article, it's from medium.com, and I don't see the author's name, but she basically says that you can probably come up with a half dozen missing person cases involving white women that made the headlines and continue to today. You can think of them off the top of your head. She names Natalee Holloway, Susan Powell, Maura Murray, Tara Calico, Jennifer Kesse. I mean, there's obviously many more.
The list goes on and on and on and on and on.
She says, without doing an internet search, name 6 missing black women. You probably can't.
Nope.
So, I mean, and that goes for Native Americans, too. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, today I'm going to pick back up the Atlanta child murders, but there's just, like, not a ton of information on each individual case. So I am using the Wikipedia.
Das Wikipedia.
The Wikipedia. And I'm going to go through, and I was originally going to do, like, one episode for, like, each victim, but there's just not enough information. So I'm just going to try to, like,
combine a few.
Yeah, I'm just going to combine a couple.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll do, like, I think my next episode I'll probably, like, finish it up. So I already discussed Edward Hope Smith and Alfred Evans, how they were discovered, like, really close together, but they hadn't gone missing. Like, they'd gone missing 4 days apart. This was in 1979. One was 13, one was 14. Edward was found with a gunshot wound, and I don't know, it doesn't say how Alfred Evans died, I forget. Let's see. He died by strangulation. So, the next set of victims, September 4th, Milton Harvey. He disappeared while going on an errand for his mom. He was going to the bank. He was riding a yellow 10-speed bike, which was found a week later in a remote area of Atlanta. And his body was not recovered until November of that year. So had gone missing for a while, and his cause of death was undetermined. And
the fuck?
Yeah. So, and that's, I mean, there's just really not, like, that much information. October 21st, 9-year-old Yusuf Bell went to the store to buy something for a neighbor, and a witness says she saw him near the intersection of McDaniel and Fulton getting into a blue car before he disappeared. And then his body was found in November in an abandoned in the abandoned E.P. Johnson Elementary School by the school janitor. His body was found clothed in the cut-off shorts he was last seen wearing, but they had a piece of masking tape stuck to them. He had been hit over the head twice, but the cause of death was strangulation. And then his death was not immediately linked to the other killings or disappearances. So the next year, March 4th, 1980, the first female victim, 12-year-old Angel Lanier, disappeared. She left her house around 4 p.m. wearing a denim outfit, and she was last seen at a friend's house watching TV with her friend. Her body was found 6 days later in a wooded vacant lot along Campbellton Road, wearing the same clothes. A pair of white panties that did not belong to her were stuffed in her mouth, and her hands were bound with electrical cord.
Jesus.
Her cause of death was strangulation. Yep. March 11th, 1 week after Angel's disappearance, 11-year-old Jeffrey Mathis disappeared while on an errand for his mom. He had been wearing gray jogging pants, brown shoes, and a white and green shirt. Months later, a girl said she saw him get into a blue car with a light-skinned man and a dark-skinned man. The body of Jeffrey was found in a briar-covered patch of woodland 11 months after he disappeared, and by then it was not possible to identify how he had died.
Damn.
Yep. So
most of them were strangled.
Yes. So this page has a list, right? There obviously are like a lot of victims. 20 something.
Yeah. And also there's some that are possibly could be linked or whatever.
Yes.
I mean, the number is, I think, not entirely accurate.
No. And even
because I feel like some could not be them.
Yeah.
Some, yeah.
And even,
I don't know.
so criminal profile John E. Douglas, who we've talked about a lot because he's an author. He worked for the FBI. He's literally started the like behavioral unit, basically like real life Criminal Minds.
I actually just recently, like, Audible was having a sale, and I just downloaded a book that he and somebody else co-wrote called, like, The Cases That Haunt Us.
Yeah, I have that too. I haven't read it yet though.
I haven't either. We should do once we're done with Unsolved Mysteries, spoiler alert, we're doing that next.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically he even said he believes that Wayne Williams, who is currently, like, most of these cases are attributed to him, he believes that he committed many of the murders, but he does not think that he committed them all.
Interesting.
He added that he believes the law enforcement authorities have some idea who the other killers, multiple, are, cryptically adding it isn't a single offender and the truth isn't pleasant. So there is still, like, a lot of talk about Wayne Williams, and, like, obviously it's pretty debated because he still says I didn't do it, blah blah blah. So some of the forensic evidence that they had against him included dog hair that was found, and so in 2007 the state of Georgia agreed to allow DNA testing of the dog hair that was used to help convict him.
Interesting. I can't believe they hadn't done that prior.
Yeah, so
unless they just didn't have the capacity to do it.
I'm not sure if they did or not, but it basically says that the decision was a response to Williams' like legal efforts to appeal his conviction and life sentences. So in June of the same year, DNA tests showed that the hairs on the bodies contained the same mitochondrial DNA sequence as Williams's dog, a sequence that only occurs in about 1 out of 100 dogs.
Interesting.
So Dr. Elizabeth Wickham, director of the UC Davis lab that carried out the testing, basically, yeah. She said that the results were fairly significant, but they don't conclusively point to Williams' dog as a source of hair.
Interesting.
But it says the lab was only able to test for the mitochondrial DNA, which, unlike nuclear DNA, cannot be shown to, like, one unique dog source. So.
Well, yeah, I think they kind of talked about the mitochondrial DNA thing on that episode of Exhibit A with the shoe on the roof.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to those episodes, I definitely recommend them.
Yeah, they're really interesting.
And also that show, it's on Netflix, I think, at 4 parts. It talks about, like, kind of semi-bunk DNA science.
It's really interesting. I found
it very interesting.
It also says that the FBI performed a DNA test on 2 human hairs found on one of the victims. The mitochondrial DNA sequence in the hair would eliminate 99.5% of persons by not matching their DNA. And the DNA sequence in the hair would eliminate 98% of African Americans by not matching their DNA. However, they matched Williams' DNA. Oh, that doesn't quite make sense. But, so it basically it's not conclusive, but it doesn't eliminate the possibility that they could be his.
Right, because it's like basically brings it down to like a 1% chance of error or whatever.
Yeah.
And he can't be eliminated by that 1% chance is more or less what that means.
Yeah. So I will come back, like I said, in later episodes I'll cover like some more. Well, I guess I'll go through the rest of like the victims from 1980, and then next episode I'll cover 1981 because unfortunately there are a lot of them. So 2 months after Jeffrey Mathis disappeared, 14-year-old Eric Middlebrooks disappeared. He was last seen answering the telephone at home, and then he left in a hurry on his bike, taking with him a hammer because he needed to repair his bike, which that's interesting. His body was found the next day next to his bicycle in the rear garage of an Atlanta bar. The bar was located next door to what was then the Georgia Department of Offender Rehabilitation. His pockets were turned inside out, his chest and arms had slight stab wounds, and the cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head.
Oh, God.
But a few weeks before he disappeared, Middlebrooks had testified against 3 juveniles in a robbery case. So there's potential motive there.
I'll say.
A month later, June 9th, 12-year-old Christopher Richardson went missing on his way to the pool. He had been last seen walking towards the DeKalb County Midway Recreation Center in Midway Park. He was wearing blue shorts and a light blue shirt with blue tennis shoes. His body was not found until the following January, clothed in unfamiliar swim trunks, and his body was found with a later victim named Earl Terrell. The cause of death could not be determined. June 22nd, 7-year-old Latanya Wilson disappeared from her parents' apartment. According to a witness, she had appeared to be abducted by 2 men, one of whom was seen climbing into the apartment window and then holding her in his arms as he spoke to the other man in the parking lot. A few months later, in October, her body was found in a fenced-in area at the end of Verbena Street in Atlanta. Her body had been skeletonized by then, so they could not determine her cause of death. The next day, June 23rd, 10-year-old Aaron Weish disappeared after having been seen near a local grocery store. He had been seen getting into a blue Chevrolet with either 1 or 2 black men, which is interesting. That's consistent with like a previous witness sighting. A female witness says she saw Weish being led from Tanner's Corner Grocery by a 6-foot-tall, 180-pound black male, approximately 30 years old, with a mustache and goatee. It matched the description of a similar car implicated in Jeffrey Mathis's disappearance. The following day, his body was found under a bridge, and the official cause of death was asphyxiation from a broken neck suffered in the fall. In July 1980, 2 more children, Anthony Carter and Earl Terrell, were killed. And between August and November, 5 more killings took place. They were all African American children between 7 and 14, and most of them were killed via I can't fucking say that word.
Asphyxiation.
So, thank you. On Wikipedia, they have a whole list of these, and some of them, their case status is unresolved. Some of them are, like, quote, attributed to Williams but closed. But he was never tried for a majority of these crimes. I think, as we talked about, he was only tried for 2 of the adult victims that essentially the FBI caught him dumping. That was all they could pin on him, but they believed he was responsible for the others. But yeah, there's a lot there.
Considered closed. Yeah.
So,
that's fucking annoying.
But yeah, I'll go into more detail. I mean, and this, again, is from Wikipedia, so some of this might not be reliable. Please take that into consideration. You know,
we're getting the info where we can.
Yeah, I really could have done more of a deep dive, but there's not that much information in one place, so it's just, you know, it's a lot. But the important thing is that, yeah, these were a lot of kids, and it's really devastating. And
oh, absolutely, to say the least.
If you think about it, some of them are unsolved. So, yeah, I'll conclude next episode.
That sounds excellent.
So what's new, fun, and fresh other than your recent discoveries?
Yeah, like I said, really my little highlight here is my new beaker.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. I decided to keep my other, because this is a 1 liter size. I've decided to keep the other one at work.
Nice,
so that
smart.
I just have one there that I don't have to move around or
Take
whatever.
Back and forth, yeah.
Yeah. I hate going to the fridge 100 times a day to fill up my small water bottle.
I feel you.
So that works.
Same.
So yeah, that's exciting for me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's mostly it, actually.
Yeah. So...
I already kind of, shot my load at the beginning of the podcast. So
hey, that works.
Right?
Emerson is waving, and after she waves, she claps for herself.
Was the cutest
and that's my highlight of the week. So cute.
I literally almost peed my pants and cried when she waved at me on that FaceTime.
I know, it's so cute. Yeah, so that's really it for me today.
Awesome. So Wednesday we will be back with the first episode of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. So not like the OG one, the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
The first episode's on, I think, Ray Ramirez. Is that his name?
Ray something. Yeah, I think
I have it pulled up. Ramirez. Yes, I was correct.
Good job.
Excellent.
Killed it.
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to talk about him on Wednesday, and then we're going to try to do one a week for the next, I think, 6 weeks. I think there's 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hold on to your assholes. Those are coming up.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yes. And good. Bye.
Bye.